This looks set up because it is. I was actually legitimately sitting here listening to my reading and playing solitaire with this incredibly old deck of cards. And my very first round, I ended up out of options immediately. Right now, what I need is a 7. A 7 could save me here. I need either a red 7 or a black 7, either one. Because I have 5s, I have the kings, I have 6s. A 7. What? Oh, I was playing 3-card draw. It was trapped. I was trapped. I was doing 3-card draw where it was trapped between cards. I just need to keep shuffling. Maybe I'm not trapped. I don't know. Let's just keep playing. I've had this deck for a long time. I'm probably the only person that I know who actually sits down and plays solitaire with a deck of cards. This deck means a lot to me. I've played cards with a lot of people with this deck. I have so few cards I can barely even shuffle it. If you notice that they're cut here on the corner, I don't know if you can see that. They're cut on the corner. They're a casino deck from our little casino here in my state. And it's to prevent cheating. And that was kind of profound to me. Because she was never a cheater. She bears the mark. She was never a cheater. She wasn't allowed to. Now, let's see. Did a little shuffle. I saw a 7 in there. I saw a 7 that must have been trapped before. Let's see what we got. 5s. It took me a second to set up, so I kind of forgot the rhythm I was in. 9, 10. It can happen. I just have to keep shuffling. But it's just so hard to shuffle because I have so little. It can happen. And then, who's to say when it happens that it's so hard to shuffle? Who's to say that when it happens, when I finally get to move that 6, or possibly, when I finally get to move that 6, is the card I need going to be underneath that card right there? I don't know, because I'm stuck. My 3 of diamonds, I've got the ace and the 2. My 3 of diamonds is stuck. I can't move him. I guess let's just keep going. And oh, hey baby girl. I'm trying to spill my Stay. Since you don't have your shirt on, can you go put on your shirt?
Well, actually,
You spilled your Pepsi. Oh no. Can you get the towel from the bathroom? I gotta go. We'll be right back. Okay, sorry, my bed is so tall and I am so small. It was like this much soda on her TV tray. Yeah. But crisis averted. Didn't get it that round. Let's shuffle again. There's so few cards. Like I was about to say, there's a way that I could solve this and not have to keep shuffling these tiny amount of cards. And that's to admit that I'm probably stuck. But I'm also stubborn. Let's see. Ooh, we got it! All right. Let's see. Do 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 do. Bum ba da bum. A red jack. I don't need a red jack. Red jack of hearts. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Do I have a black 10? Shh. Well, this one seems to shuffle best. I have so few. This deck is so nice. I love it so much. I love the cut corner of this deck so much. And having this deck. When my tarot deck that I have, that I got, that I had like... I like connected myself to. I don't know if anybody else does that. But I like really like prayed with this deck for it to like talk to me and stuff. Well, my baby, she was like... she was teething. She had just got her first little teeth. And she got a hold of the Temperance card, my card, and she chewed the corner off of it. Right off of it. And without even thinking, I just cut the corner off the whole deck. And I should have thought, because I cut the wrong corner off the deck. Cut the wrong corner off. So when I cut the Temperance, now my Temperance is the only one that's different. She's the only one that's got two corners cut off. Freaking go figure. All right. The game. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, sorry. Here. I should probably take my... You were on a premiere. Oh, God. Let me close you out so you're not, like, hanging on. Everything's dying over here. I've fallen in love with that dang headset. It was my son's. He flung it because it didn't have the mic anymore. And I love it because it, like, drowns out the noise. I'm finding out a lot about myself lately and learning how to forgive myself for a lot of the things that have really made me feel different. But now I'm realizing that different doesn't necessarily mean bad. or villain. It just means different. So I don't think I have a black 10. I just want to see if I have a black 10 in here. I don't. Black 10 or a red 4. Nope. No red 4. Was it worth it? I got down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got down to 7 cards. Initially was looking for a 7. Something about 7 lately. You know, it's sad because look at all the potential here. I never made it to any of these. Not even the first one. Not even the first one. I didn't get to the first one. I played it to the end. And the best part, the very best part, is I get to start again. I don't know what that was about. Wasn't what I thought it was gonna be about. I don't know if this meant anything to anyone. But there's something so satisfying about laying them all straight, you know? Love these cards. The cut helps. When I was in a very young, early relationship, situations happened that were beyond my control. I was so young. I was 16. He was 15. And he got in trouble at school. And he got sent away. He was my best friend, of course. He got sent away. And we relied a lot on each other. I would write to him. We would write to each other. And I've always been a little pothead, you know, I've always been a little stoner. And around my area, like, the town would go dry. When I was a kid, like, there was no such thing as legal marijuana when I was a kid. I'm old. And the town would go dry. And our dealer was out, had been out, didn't know when she was going to get any again. And so we were just kind of like hanging around at the mall like, well, fuck, what are we going to do? Oh. What are we going to do? Sorry, I'm trying to watch my potty mouth. I'm trying to be better. I don't want to be so, like, blue. I want to be able to be clean and be understood as who I am and where I'm from. And I'm trying to practice doing that without saying at least the F word. But wow, these cards don't want to shuffle right now. It's really weird. I ended up meeting a dealer who seemed to always have weed. I was, like I said, I was 16, going on 17. I was 16. Going on 17. And he was 32. And he was so cool. And he had everything that you could want as a 16-year-old girl. He taught me about things that my body could do, fascinating things that made me feel like I was in love. They also made me feel like I was dirty. Because my best friend, the love of my life, is locked in a cage. And I haven't written in so long. And now I'm doing all these terrible things with my body. Not realizing. Now I'm 37, right? Now I'm 37 and I can look back at that 32-year-old man and that barely 17-year-old girl. And I can see what was happening. And I forgave her. She was never a cheater. She was never a cheater. She never. She didn't want to hurt anyone. She's just confused. My parents had just gotten divorced the year prior. And so, Blue was like my world. And I feel so bad. I know, honey, it's okay. Oh, God, don't do it on camera. I've been, like, trying to reparent myself. I kind of talk to myself sometimes. Sorry. My camera is all the way over there. I didn't know if you'd be able to hear me and see my silly game. This is not what I thought. This is not what I intended. I don't know why this is still happening. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but it was my fish. He made a big thud in his tank. And then he looked at me. Animals are smart, you guys. He just calmed me down. He's watching me. I think I received an angel that day. He has special needs because of the trauma his body went through when he was in that bucket for so long. And so he's got a really, he's got a compromised immune system. So I have to keep him at tropical temperatures, meaning I gotta keep him pretty warm for a goldfish. So his tank mates always grow really rapidly and age kind of prematurely, because that's kind of how it goes in like fish world a little bit. And so his little tank mates, they're not even a year old yet, but they're almost as big as, they're half as big as he is, and he's like ancient. But he needs that. He cannot have cold water. In cold water, he just totally breaks down and gets really sick. But I've seen him through a lot of sicknesses. He has his own hospital tank, his own little setup. He's my little sicky boy. Sick but strong. Stubborn. Angel. He's a little flighty sometimes. Has a tendency of hitting his face. That's why I want to get him a bigger tank. She's singing. She's singing just outside my door. Gotta look at this old card case. All taped together. Oh. Let's see what date it says. It's got a date on here. Oh, let's see, dearie. I can see through the tears. Oh, that's weird. I never really looked at the date. But it's January 18th, which is my ex-husband's birthday. But they're from 08. These are from '08. But January 18th, how crazy. The date they were used was on my ex-husband's birthday. But I did not know him when I received this deck of cards. I got this deck of cards from one of my old friends' boyfriend at the time. Like we were like a triple, I guess. Not like a thruple, but like we called ourselves CMD because it was always us three. What it was is I was the damn third wheel and just didn't know it. And I got it from him. I got it from her boyfriend. You want to know how they met? So, in art class, I met a new girl was sat at my table. And she was real pretty and really kind and really quiet and super cute and had these big braces and straight hair, but it was tinted red. And she told me that she colored it with Kool-Aid because her hair was naturally blonde. She was a towhead blonde. And she could tint her hair with Kool-Aid and it would stick. And she was new in school. It was the C to the MD. And so I kind of naturally started showing her around school. I was always like that. I was like a little ambassador. I was always like, I liked the quiet ones. I was like the most normal kid in special ed. If that doesn't sound mean, that's not what I meant, but I was like the most cognitive enough and like confident enough of them to like go around and like talk with everyone and be with everyone. So like when we would get into the like gen pop of like school, I was always, I was never afraid to like go talk to my homie in the chair and, the like jock or whoever, I was able to do both. And so when we had new kids, I was always like on them. And God, I kind of forgot that. But I was showing her around. It was lunchtime, and I remember telling her, "Ooh, these are the card players." The card players like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering. Some of them played Pokemon still, but mostly it was Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic. And you had Yu-Gi-Oh table, Magic table. And I was like, I'm going to show you the guy I like. And we walk up to the Magic table. And I introduced C to D. They like saw each other and like the little love hearts started flying around and stuff. And I was like, oh, well, another one bites the dust. That's when you take that bulb out, put another one in. Ta-da! I'm in love again. That one always hurt because she became my best friend. He became her boyfriend. We became like triple best friends. They were real nasty too. Like when I say nasty, I mean like nasty. My mom was always quite controlling, but I was always the one who had like smokes and weed and a place to be. Like my mom, as long as I was home and wherever she knew I was at, she didn't care what I was doing. And so I had the place to be. We could go to my house and we could smoke and stuff. Like when my dad was gone, like when my parents finally divorced and everything. This is later on. And there were instances where my mom, like she worked hard. I did the work that she did. I know how hard it is. I know how her body must have felt. But she would like make me rub her feet forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. And she would not let me stop. She wouldn't let me stop. She wouldn't let me go. And I'd be like, Mom, my friends are downstairs. And they'd be smoking my weed and doing nasty stuff in my bed and stuff. Like, she didn't care. They didn't care. Always violated. Not anymore. I don't want that anymore. Oh. Oh, man. Old school card readers. What does this mean? I don't know. I got 10 of diamonds. 10 of diamonds. And I think I have to throw this deck away. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I love it. This one won't go in. I know what that means. I know who that is. All right. Can I keep this one? Oh, damn. I screamed right into that mic. Nope. My little slur slide king. Slur slide king. My favorite card, dang it. More than the Queen of Hearts. You don't want to go in. Peeking out. Oh my god, it's so hard to think about throwing it in the trash. I've had this for so long. I don't want to throw it away. This is one of the only things I have left. And they hurt me so much. They don't talk to me anymore. C got caught having an affair on D and blamed it on my most recent relationship, because it happened at work. My relationship happened at work. It was very taboo because I fell in love with my manager, and I was going through a messy long divorce, and we were actively getting divorced. But like when we started like dating and stuff, and like talking and showing interest in each other, I was still married. Technically, but actively like going through court processes. Though the marriage was being dissolved, it was just we were going through like legality stuff. So I was still married, but being divorced. Like, we didn't live together. We didn't sleep in the same bed. I didn't, like, her situation and my situation were different, but she used me as an example of why she did what she did, and Dee believed her. And then Dee made her step out of that job position where the affair had happened, and where she was making quite good money. He forced her out of that job, forced her to become a stay-at-home mom. Now they have like 5 kids, where when this all happened they had like 1.5 kids, like one and she had a little baby. And then Dee took over the bringing home the bacon, and they're not exactly suffering, but they're not living as well off as they were before, and now they've got a heck of a lot more mouths to feed. And he also forbade her from seeing or talking to me. But he never once asked me, talk to me, asked my side before cutting me off, before cutting me out of the group. Christmas, Thanksgiving. Because she did what she did, and it was easier to blame me. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare ya.
You look like... Mommy, she's chasing the cord.
Uh-oh. Don't chase the cord, little kitty.
Oh, no.
You stay right here, okay? All right. Oh, no. A trash can fell over. I guess that's good I'm coming out here. Okay, this is... Bye. Bye.
Girl one and a boy one.
Well, that's a thing, I guess. There's literally like a place on my altar, like my Walter. Some people have, oh, sorry, some people have, like an altar. Well, I got like my whole wall is my altar. This is my Walter. The fish will come on later. We literally, sat right here. That was where that deck of cards sat. So, that didn't hurt as bad as I thought. I wonder how many more things will be like that. You see my Walter? Walter. That's my grandpa. I made this, so it's like made out of plastic. And my grandpa. This is my biological grandpa. He worked for NASA. Up here, that is my Nana. And then this is my Papa. That is Julie Newmar. Those who get it will get it. Nana, Papa again. Nana's shells. My Nana had like the most beautiful collection of seashells that got passed down to me with love. I don't know if anybody else has a gift for this or not, but I have like this thing for finding Oop, I might not have closed the door well enough.
Oh, I think that's Daddy.
No, I think it's the wind. Petrified wood. I find a lot of petrified wood in places, like a lot. Like I find petrified wood all over. Like, check this piece is gorgeous. It's so cool, and you can see that was a piece of wood, but it's not wood. That is a big old rock. It's so beautiful. And to me, when I see stuff like this, I don't feel like I'm just holding a rock. I feel like it's proof that everything is alive. Everything has life, has lived. This tree, when alive, weathered storms, saw massive creatures, housed little souls. I don't know if anybody else thinks the way I do, but I think people might be starting to. My little Buddha in there.
Look, Mommy, the green one and the pink one are so happy. The green one is the boy, the pink one is the girl.
Oh, that's so sweet.
They're friends forever. Stop not working. She's save him, Green. Save her.
Oh no. I guess while I'm sharing some of my like favorite things, I'd like to share my little shelf over here. I also have like an affinity with finding bones. I found a lot of bones like in the wild, and then I've also been gifted bones. People people always want to, like, if they find something weird, they want to give it to me, especially little children, which I love that. Thank you, little children who understand me. Um, like this one here, this skull was given to me by my ex-husband's friend was working on like at a job site where he was there to like clean up some mud and stuff, and like he was just hauling dirt, pretty much. He was just hauling dirt for this farmer, and he found this skull buried in the mud. And so when I got her, I don't know if it's her or not, but when I got it, it was like full and caked with mud. These two right here, they're goat skulls. They came with this intact goat skull here, with the horns intact and the nose fully intact. They were a gift from my dad, Alan.
Mommy,
And,
died.
oh, this little cat skull here was a gift from my first boyfriend. Same with this skull here, dog skull here. Those were gifts from him. These limbs, this paw here, and this elbow, and like this, they all came from the same specimen, along with this jawbone, with this jawbone here, but I never found the skull. Oh, and this spinal column, this whole almost intact spinal column. Oops, this spinal column here came with that same thing. Sorry, my thing keeps like wobbling around. But the neighborhood kids, the neighborhood kids had like came knocking on my door. Mandy, Miss Mandy. And I open up the door, and it's like my little brother and his homies, right? And they're these three little blonde children. So like all these creepy little blonde kids with this like white trash bag full of bones. And they're like, "We brought you some bones. Is this a person?" I'm like, "Oh God, I hope it's not a person. Where'd you find it at?" And I like peek into it, and I see like the tail right away, and the jawbones, like the mandible, and the paw, like that almost fully intact paw. Like, look at that. How beautiful. How beautiful this is. Like, it's so gorgeous to me. I don't know if I'm even allowed to show this or not. Science. But, it's, the preservation of this, where they found it, it was in like a drainage ditch, and it was during the summertime, so I feel like the dog probably wandered into the ditch when it was full of water, and that's why the skull floated away, and why the other limbs were gone and stuff. Hey, shh. Can you give me... Oh, pardon me, ma'am. Hold on, I'll be out of here in a moment. Yeah, I feel like he was preserved really well in the moist, and then, like, dried out really well. Like, slowly. Because, look at that tendon. It's so beautiful. The toe pad. No smell. Doesn't smell like nothing. Nothing. I put him right in there. Yeah, just like that. And, yeah, the kids, they brought me all kinds of stuff like that all the time. Some of these I 3D printed. 3D printed these. Of course, they were like translucent white. That does not look natural. I 3D printed this little dude up here. I think it's a fox skull. But otherwise, those are my only 3D printed items that I have in this little bone altar here. Um, yeah, these are my treasures. I love bones. So I guess it turns out that gentleman that I showed y'all, that I was like, this is my grandpa. He worked for NASA. I guess his family was from Jamaica, and they were morticians, and so my bloodline is morticians. And I've always heard, like, in religious things, like there's special people that have been sanctified to be able to touch the dead without becoming dirtied by it. And I think that was just fancy talk for you guys. Do it. We don't want to touch that. But I really do feel like that's where my early fascination with dead stuff came from. Like, even as a kid, like, you know, kids games back in like the 90s were like, when we're driving in the car for hours on end, you play like license plate name games, or the color of the car games, or slug bug games. Mandy's favorite game was Count the Dead Stuff on the Road game. Oh, no, that's not a weird one. Yep. Always. Or if it was like something that died on the road, like on one of our normal routes, oh, I especially liked that, because then I got to watch the decomposition. I got to watch the process of like it blowed up and decay and turn to bones. And then I would always have like fantasies of going to the side of the road and like picking up the bones. Don't say this stuff. I don't know why I'm telling anyone any of this. I don't know why I'm saying this with the camera pointed at my face right now. This is really weird. But this is why I like bones so much. So I like bones. I always thought of them as like God's sculptures, you know, God's hard sculptures. Like, we get to see the beautiful sunrise and sunsets. Those are his paintings. You know, you get to see people living their lives, doing what they do, and that's his entertainment. And then you get to see the biology and structure of the organisms and organ systems, and that's the artwork. I don't know. I feel like bones are just another part of life, another part of art. It's always a wild ride with you guys. I don't know if anybody watches this, but I know I'm grateful to have a place where I can speak and feel like a little bit understood. Obviously, like, watching this walk down the road dressed like, isn't always met with the most love and patience and understanding. So getting to feel a tiny bit of understanding in a space, it really means a lot. So thanks for being here and holding that for me. Even if just one person watches, it's one more person than I've spoke to today. I can't say that. It's not true. I've got my daughter here with me. I gotta stop not counting her as a person just because she's not an adult. She's a person. Kids are people. Their feelings matter. They're so smart. Smarter than you know. Always listening. Weird. Bye.